In the vast silent landscape of southeastern Turkey, the earth has once again whispered secrets from humanity's forgotten dawn. Here, among the rolling limestone hills of Şanlıurfa, archaeologists have unearthed something truly extraordinary, something that might rewrite what we know about who we are. At Karahan Tepe, one of the world's most ancient settlements, a T-shaped pillar carved with a human face has been discovered. It is the first of its kind. The first time our prehistoric ancestors 12,000 years ago looked upon stone and carved a reflection of themselves. This moment marks a turning point not only in Turkish archaeology, but in the story of civilization itself. For the first time, the stones are not just symbols, they are us. Before we uncover the mystery behind this ancient face, make sure to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more untold discoveries from the dawn of civilization. Each week, we reveal another secret buried beneath Turkey's ancient hills. So join the journey and help keep these stories alive. Before we speak of the face in the stone, we must understand where it was found. Karahan Tepe lies about 35 kilometers east of its more famous sister site, Göbekli Tepe, often called the world's first temple. Together, these sites, along with 10 others, form what modern archaeologists now call Taş Tepeler, or the Stone Hills. This region, stretching across the Fertile Crescent, is more than just ancient soil. It's the cradle of architecture, of ritual, of human imagination. 12 millennia ago, long before cities, before agriculture, before written language, hunter-gatherers carved massive pillars, aligned them in circles, and built monuments that still defy modern explanation. At the center of these stone sanctuaries stood T-shaped monoliths, representing what scholars believe to be stylized human figures. Some display arms, hands, belts, and even loincloths. Abstract, yes, but unmistakably human. Until now, these pillars were faceless, anonymous guardians of the Neolithic dawn. But the discovery at Karahan Tepe changes everything. When archaeologists brushed away the last grains of soil from the monolith, they saw something no one had ever seen before. A face staring back. Deep, hollow eye sockets, a prominent nose, sharp, intentional lines defining the cheeks and forehead. The surface bore the marks of deliberate craftsmanship, an artist's vision, not accident. This wasn't just decoration, it was identity. For decades, researchers interpreted the T-shaped pillars as representations of deities or ancestors, embodiments of human-like power. But now we can say with confidence, these were not abstract spirits. They were people. To carve a face is to recognize one's own. This may be the first moment in history where humanity looked into stone and saw humanity looking back. To understand why this discovery is so powerful, we must consider what it means symbolically. Throughout human history, the face has been our window to identity, emotion, and divinity. It's how we recognize each other and how we imagine the gods, but in the pre-pottery Neolithic, there were no written records, no myths preserved in clay or papyrus. The beliefs of these people were expressed entirely through art, through the silent language of stone. At Karahan Tepe, hundreds of artifacts tell a story of spiritual complexity far beyond what we once believed hunter-gatherers capable of. Sculptures of humans with animal features, serpent-like forms, phallic pillars, and faces emerging from bedrock all point to a worldview deeply connected to fertility, death, and rebirth. And now, with the human face pillar, that symbolic world becomes more personal, more introspective. It suggests that by 10,000 BCE, these people were already exploring self-awareness, the ability to see themselves as individuals within a larger cosmic story. They were not just building temples, they were building meaning. Archaeologists working under Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism have been excavating Karahan Tepe since 2019 as part of the Taş Tepeler project, one of the most ambitious archaeological initiatives in the world. So far, they have uncovered over 250 T-shaped pillars, some standing within circular and oval enclosures, others buried in chambers carved directly into the bedrock. The architecture is astonishing. Unlike Göbekli Tepe's open courtyards, Karahan Tepe's structures are more enclosed, suggesting a shift from ritual gathering toward more private or specialized ceremonies. There are benches, channels cut into the floors, and even a long, narrow hall known as the Chamber of the Phalluses, lined with upright stone projections, their purpose still unknown. Some archaeologists believe these chambers were used in initiation rituals or fertility rites, symbolizing the rebirth of life after death. And now the human face pillar joins this sacred space, perhaps as a divine guardian, or even as a representation of the first shaman or ancestor. What is certain is that whoever carved this face understood not just stone, but the human soul. So how do we date and interpret a find like this? The answer lies in a blend of archaeological science and interpretive art. Carbon dating of organic remains, such as charcoal or animal bones, provides a general time frame, around 9,500 to 10,000 BCE. Microscopic analysis of tool marks reveals the use of flint chisels and stone polishers, techniques consistent with early Neolithic craftsmanship. But interpretation is where science meets wonder. The discovery team, led by Professor Necmi Carroll, suggests that Karahan Tepe and Göbekli Tepe are part of a network of ceremonial centres, each reflecting a shared worldview, one centred on life, death, and the cycles of nature. The T-shaped pillars, he argues, represent human ancestors or gods, connecting the community to their spiritual roots. This face, however, takes that connection a step further. It's not just a symbol, it's a being, someone the carvers knew, loved, or worshipped, and that raises a profound question. Did they carve their gods in their own image, or themselves in the image of gods? These carvings aren't just art, they're a language from a forgotten world. What do you think the face represents? A god? An ancestor? Or humanity's first reflection of self? Let us know your theory in the comments. We read and feature the most thoughtful ones in future videos. Psychologists and anthropologists often trace self-awareness, the recognition of the self as distinct, to symbolic behaviour. The moment humans began to represent themselves in art marks the birth of consciousness as we know it. This pillar may represent the earliest physical expression of that awakening. 12,000 years ago, long before mirrors or portraits, these people shaped a human identity in stone. This is not just art, it's evidence of the human mind reflecting upon itself. Imagine the sculptor, a Neolithic artisan standing before a raw limestone block, seeing not just a pillar, but a person waiting to be revealed. With every strike of the chisel, they gave form to memory, spirit, and myth. This was not just construction, it was creation. To understand the magnitude of this find, we must compare it to Göbekli Tepe, often described as the world's first temple. For decades, Göbekli Tepe stood as the symbol of humanity's architectural awakening. Circular enclosures filled with T-shaped pillars, animal reliefs, and signs of complex ritual behavior. But despite its grandeur, Göbekli Tepe lacked one thing: a face. Now, Karahan Tepe has given us that missing link, the human element that transforms mystery into identity. Some archaeologists believe that Karahan Tepe might even precede Göbekli Tepe chronologically, suggesting it could be the prototype of the entire Taş Tepeler civilization. If true, it means the story of civilization didn't begin in a single temple. It began across a network of sacred sites, each one a verse in humanity's first great story. In many ancient traditions, the moon and water were symbols of rebirth, of cycles that govern both nature and human life. Some carvings at Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe show serpentine shapes once thought to be snakes, but new research, as seen in studies by Professor Giorgio and others, suggests they may actually represent fish, the bringers of life. The moon pulls the tides, the fish rise, and the world is renewed. Perhaps this human face is the embodiment of that cycle, a guardian of life's eternal return. Its expression is neither smiling nor frowning, neutral, timeless, almost divine. It is the face of humanity before nations, before language, before history itself. With this discovery, we now stand face to face with the earliest known depiction of human identity. This is not the face of a god from myth or an animal spirit. It's the face of a person carved 12,000 years ago by hands that sought to preserve something deeply human. It tells us that our ancestors were not primitive. They were thinkers, dreamers, artists. They understood beauty, death, and transcendence. They may not have had writing, but in stone they wrote the first chapter of us. The discovery at Karahan Tepe does more than expand archaeology. It reshapes how we think about civilization's origins. It tells us that the roots of culture, art, and religion are not in Egypt, not in Mesopotamia, but here in Anatolia, on the stony hills of Turkey. This is where imagination became architecture, where spirit took form, where the story of humanity truly began. So the next time you hear the word civilization, remember, it didn't start with kings or cities. It started with a face in stone, staring into eternity. Thank you for watching and exploring the origins of humanity with us. If this discovery inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It truly helps us bring you more stories from the forgotten corners of the ancient world, and share your thoughts below. Could this face be the earliest portrait of humanity? Your insight could shape our next investigation, because here on this channel, every comment, every theory, and every question brings us one step closer to understanding who we truly are.